Hello, Gaudi class. In our second history lesson today, we're going to look at what happened after animals went into space, and we're going to make a mind map about a significant person, an important person who contributed to international events. That means all over the world. So last time we looked at the animals and the fact that they were the first living things to travel in space. Can you remember what was actually the first thing to go into space? Fruit flies, well done. We had monkeys and dogs and rabbits. But today we're going to look at the first human who ever travelled in space. This is Yuri Gagarin, and he was a cosmonaut. Now that sounds very different, doesn't it? But actually it means an astronaut, but the Russians don't call them astronauts, they call them cosmonauts. So he was a Russian astronaut, so he was a cosmonaut. He was born in Russia in 1934 in a village on the outskirts of Moscow. Moscow is the capital of Russia. And he was an engineer. So that's someone who designs and builds things to solve a problem. He was also a fighter pilot, which means that he was in the army or in the Air Force, and he flew planes. He was shortlisted for the Russian space program from 20 other candidates. So that means 20 people applied for his job and he got lucky. In 1961, he was the first person to ever enter space. I'm trying to work out, I think that's 60 years ago. He orbited the Earth in 108 minutes. So he went all around the world, Earth, in an hour and a half, 1 hour and 48 minutes, so nearly 2 hours. Unfortunately, he died in 1968 in a fighter jet crash. He actually died while he was working. So can you remember what year he became the first person to travel to space? He was in 1961 and he was on the Soviet Vostok 1. So the Vostok 1 was the name of the spaceship he was on in 1961. So when you finished this, there's a video and it's linked in below this video here. Let's try that again, Mrs. Cabela. There is a link to a video underneath the video you're watching now that you need to watch, what will show you Yuri's mission into space. Now it's a reenactment, which means it's not real. It's not what actually happened. It's a recording of what they think happened. So it's not him, it's actors. So you have to have a look at that. So we're going to have a quick recap of his life, and the video that I've asked you to watch will help you be able to do your work for the rest of this lesson. So where was he born and when? So I can remember he was born in Moscow, but I can't remember when. I think it was 1934. Now I'm going to cheat. I'm going to take the slides back, but if you weren't sure, you could check by taking the video, rolling video back. So I think he was born in 1934. Oh, he was. Oh, good memory, Mrs. Cabela. I'm impressed with myself today. What was his first career? I remember that one. He helped design and build things to solve problems. He was an engineer. What was the name of his spacecraft? Oh, definitely had a number after it. I think it was the Vostok 1. The Vostok 1? Vostok 1. Was his mission successful? It was. He orbited the Earth in 108 minutes. Ah, look, and I've just given you the answer to the next question. He orbited the Earth. How long did it take him? 108 minutes. Maybe I should read the slide first. Why did the first ever human space mission almost fail? Oh, now I can't help you with this one because I'm not very good and I haven't watched that video yet because I was going to watch it after this so that when you put your work on Tapestry, I can see if you're right or wrong. So I thought I'll record the video first, then I'll watch the video. So I don't know the answer to that one. I hope you're going to be able to tell me. I shall look at your work to see if I can find the answer to that one. You're going to teach me something. So what I need you to do this afternoon is I want you to create a mind map about Yuri Gagarin. So you can look back on the video if you've missed any dates, or you can look at the video that I've suggested that you watch. So on the next page, we're going to look at one done well, what a good one looks like. So this is a mind map. In the middle, we have a picture of Yuri Gagarin. Now, you might not have a picture, so don't worry about that. You can just write his name. And again, if that's really difficult, do you remember yesterday when we were doing the cold task, we just wrote YG, so you can just do that. And maybe you can put in some key dates. So he was born in 1934, and his career was, he was an engineer, fighter pilot. And what's he famous for? So he's famous for being the first human in space. He died, I can't remember that one. Was it 1968? That seems a bit long. Yeah, he died in 1968. There you go. I'm cheating a lot of times. He died in 1968, and his spacecraft was the Vostok 1. And I don't know the space mission details, but you might be able to find that out from the video. So that's very basic. You just fill in the information with the years. If you feel like testing yourself this afternoon, then you can add some extra information to that. So you could write, instead of just being born in 1934, you could write, he was born in Russia in 1934 in a little village on the outskirts of Moscow, so the capital. You could say that he was famous for being the first human to travel to space in 1961, instead of just saying for being the first human in space. So you can expand and you can give a whole sentence. You can use your capital letters and your full stops. And if you've done your English today, you'll know why that makes me happy. Capital letters and full stops. And what I look forward to seeing is your mind maps uploaded onto Tapestry for me to look at, and you can tell me about the space mission details that I don't know about. I look forward to seeing your work, Gaudi class.